Swipe Up, episode 221, the podcast where I share my unfiltered thoughts on the latest news and entertainment updates. I'm your host, Ray Taylor. Warner Brothers Discovery, the new combination of these two media companies, has had a lot of issues. They are relaunching and building, apparently, after scrapping a number of TV shows last year. Many TV shows and movies used as tax write-offs for this company to save money, to help this company stay afloat, as it were. A lot of TV shows have been disappearing, including Westworld being probably the biggest show to be taken away. A show that, I loved the first season, was a show that I kind of wanted to get back into to just see where it goes, because even though I've heard certain seasons aren't very good, the most, I think season 3 was good, and then season 4, I don't know. There have been moments where I wanted to get back into that show and give it a shot, because you never know. Sometimes things that people hate in general can be fun, and I don't know. I just never got back into it and never can. And there has been a fear that other shows might disappear, especially shows that are great, like Station 11, which is a show that's only available on HBO Max, although I think they are now planning to release a Blu-ray. Many shows that are original content for a lot of these streaming services aren't available in physical media. So if those streaming services, like HBO Max, wanted to use them as a tax write-off and delete them for whatever reason, they could do that, which sucks. There's tons of movies that, like, now that we're in the age of digital and streaming, like, every movie should just be available to purchase. Every TV show should have an option to purchase through iTunes, through Amazon, right? Whether it's physical media, they don't have to be physical media. I don't mind streaming. I don't own any physical media anymore. Back when CDs were a thing, I had my entire CD collection of 300 plus CDs stolen, right? So switched to MP3s in that time. Moving from San Diego to Denver and then back to California, gotten rid of my massive DVD collection that I've had. It's just, I prefer streaming. I would prefer having less stuff. So at least having the option to buy things, and whether it's Station 11 or movies that you just can't find, like a lot of Jackie Chan movies are impossible to find. Can't purchase them. They're not streaming anywhere. Old Boy, one of the first Park Chan-wook films, hard to find anywhere. Although I think that's coming out with a Blu-ray as well. But like, they should have, it doesn't make any sense why they aren't available on services to purchase. It is digital files. It is not like they have to manufacture physical media, and which would make sense for something to no longer be out of print. But when it's something that's as easily copy and pasted as a digital file, there's no reason why these movies that have digital versions of themselves, why they're not just available to purchase. It's just it's insane. And would completely eliminate any fears people would have with all these shows that are being disappeared from HBO Max. And apparently 2022 was a year of restructuring for the company, right? That's why they were doing that. But according to one of their people, they are done with that chapter, right? They apparently, according to, the Discovery CFO, Warner Bros. Discovery CFO, Gunnar Wiederfields, whatever his name is, says that they are done. So hopefully that means that nothing else will be disappeared. They faced a lot of backlash for scrapping a lot of the projects, like Batgirl, which never saw the light of day, and unceremoniously as well. Like, the people who are making that movie like found out secondhand about it, right? They had no, and it's a movie that was done. I believe it was done and just will never be released, right? For tax purposes. It's just insane. It's just insane. But according to them, a necessary move, according to their CFO. The company has, he says the company has the command and control over the business now, and is looking forward to growth in the future. More than a dozen shows, including Westworld and The Nevers, will be removed from HBO Max in the coming days. Warner Brothers plans to license 13 of the removed HBO/HBO Max originals to third-party, free, ad-supported streaming, quote-unquote, or FAST services. So I would imagine that's services that are like Tubi or Plex or Pluto TV, I think, is another one. Crunchyroll. I don't know which one the Warner Brothers movies usually end up in, but there's, I love Tubi. Tubi, as far as those ad-supported free services, I love it. There's so many like offbeat, like weird movies that just never show up anywhere else, especially in doing my top fives that I do at the end of the week. So many times I will find some obscure title streaming on Tubi, right? And the ads, whatever, I don't know. It's fine. Sometimes video quality isn't the greatest, but it's like, well, I have access. Like, all I care about is access. As a consumer, I want availability and access. I mean, that's the whole reason this stuff exists, is to keep people from pirating. And when they eliminate any possibility of going through legitimate channels to acquire a video, it's because these things do exist in digital form already. Pirating becomes the only viable way to get something. So in many ways, Discovery is doing all they can to increase pirating in this age where you don't really hear about people pirating stuff anymore, because everything's pretty accessible, unless it's a movie or music that, unless you're poor, sure. Even though still there's a lot of free stuff, but you don't have access to everything. Sure, somebody might have a hacked Fire Stick or whatever, but if you're poor, I get it. I've been there, done that, allegedly. But, if something's available, if you have Netflix, you can afford a Netflix or can get a password, any of the streaming services, then, you have access to so much stuff. It's ridiculous, the idea of pirating. I haven't had to pirate stuff forever, because things are available. So the removed shows that will be available on the FAST platforms, which I guess must stand for like free ad-supported something, streaming. Free ad-supported television, maybe? So the shows that will be available, Westworld apparently will be available, The Nevers, Finding Magic Mike, Head of the Class, The Time Traveler's Wife, and Raised by Wolves. None of those. Westworld, I still, at some point, would like to revisit that show and give it another shot. The remaining shows, Gordita Chronicles, The Garcias, Love Life, Made for Love, and Minx, may also be available on one of those FAST platforms or other streaming services, but is not guaranteed, apparently. It's not yet known which FAST platforms will offer the removed shows. Warner Brothers Discovery plans to provide more information about its own FAST offerings in 2023. So, that is definitely... There's definitely platforms that are owned by these other companies that are these free ad-supported stuff, that, you see a lot of their content, like Warner Brothers, Paramount, all that stuff, Sony, Crunchyroll, I believe, is a Sony free ad-supported thing. And, yeah. So I guess it's good that they're not just completely getting rid of the content. It's good that hopefully they're going to be licensing the content out. I'm sure it's things like the Batgirl movie, I'm surprised that hasn't been leaked, right? Something like that happens, especially like a superhero movie. There's so much like diehard fandom around superhero movies, especially the DC movies, specifically Zack Snyder, but just even back in the day when the unfinished version of that one X-Men movie got leaked, right? Which at the time somebody had access to it. I had the availability to watch the early released version of that movie without a lot of the special features. The one that had Deadpool, that had his mouth sewn shut. It was a sad movie aside from a lot of the things the fanboys complained about. But it's like, I'm sure it's possible. It seems like somebody has to at some point have a version of that or get access to it to where that will be leaked at some point, which it only will make it more like it's going to be that thing that almost like the Streisand effect, right? You just can't eliminate something from the internet once it's out because somebody will copy it because it's digital. It's just ridiculous. But let's move on. Let's move on to the next story. No more of the DC. Hopefully they are in a moment of rebuilding. We're going to see what the new HBO, I guess they're just dropping it and just going to be calling the service Max now, which is stupid. We're going to see how the combination of the Discovery reality TV shows blend with the high-end prestige TV and amazing. I love HBO Max. One of my favorite streaming platforms. Has amazing movies. Classic movies. There's a lot of movies that you would get through the Criterion collection that are available through their Turner Classic movie hub aspect of HBO Max. A lot of great original shows on HBO Max. And it's a bummer that they were bought out by somebody who makes their money doing kind of trashy reality TV. So, there's still a lot of worry. Hopefully the worry of more shows and movies being eliminated is gone, but there's still that worry of what are they going to start producing now, The place that brought us The Wire, The Sopranos, even stuff like White Lotus, Station 11. Like, there are some amazing things, and then all the movies. It's such a bummer.
New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.